apple juice is made by cutting and crushing apples. This was one of the answer in one of the paper. How do we extract the material in which we have to cut open and crush? In which the answer was cut open and crush. Okay. When apple tissue is cut up and crushed, it becomes darker color and go brown. Now I'll tell you that which question in which question student usually lose mark. Okay. Some students investigate the effect of vitamin C on color change in apples when they are cut up and crushed. The student follow these steps. There are like three test tubes, one with vitamin C, one with distilled water. Sorry, wait, let me switch to pen. One with vitamin C, one with distilled water, and in the other one there is no liquid at all. Okay, then that person cut the cubes into size of this, put them in the test tubes and then crush them. Okay, first it put them in the, after putting in the test tube he crushed or she crushed. Okay, and they have given you the precaution which was in another paper that you have to clean the glass rod before using it in each test tube. Okay. Okay, describe the most appropriate piece of apparatus to measure the required volume of vitamin C. Correct. Okay. Why the student were told to clean the glass rod? To prevent the mixing. Okay, prevent the mixing or the transfer of liquid. The student noted that the apple tissue in each test tube was white when they started timing, but with the passage of time they turned to these colors. In vitamin C it remains white, in distilled water it turns dark yellow, and when the no liquid was added it turned brown. You have to record your results over here. We started with white, keep this thing in mind. Okay, so at 0 second all were white. So I guess these are minutes. So after 5 minutes, what are these? You have to complete this table. So it would be white. Okay, let me see if I can. Okay, it becomes really small. I want to write the result. Okay, it turns to, wait, we are doing it for vitamin C first. Let's write white here, and white here. Okay, then the second one is white, pale yellow, and then last one is dark yellow. Then it's yellow, dark yellow, and the last one is brown. Okay, what should be the labeling of these columns? First one is minutes, correct, and the next one would be correct. It's written at the like start of this color change. Yes, it would be the color of apple. It's written color of the apple tissue. Okay, we can write that, color of the apple tissue or color of the apple. Okay, use your observation in 1.1. Now here students are starting to lose marks in these one. Okay, these one are the ones which are difficult one, which students find difficult. Maybe you'll be able to crack it. So what could be the answer? Okay, number one, use your observation in table 1.1 to state what can be concluded by the effect of vitamin C on the color change. Tell about only vitamin C. Okay, vitamin C, we won't say stops, we say prevents. Okay, vitamin C prevents the color change, correct. You got 1 mark in this. Okay, next one, use your observation in this one and state what can be concluded about the effect of distilled water on the color change. Now, yes, exactly. This is, you got the answer, but many students didn't get the answer. So yes, we have to compare the distilled water with others. Okay, compared to air. Okay, distilled water, let's say, reduces color change as compared to air, as compared to no liquid. Okay, but do you have key in front of you? Okay, okay, this is the correct answer. Okay, next one, because this is the one in which students didn't compare it. Usually they don't compare it when this question is given to them. Okay, 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 good, good. Okay, the students were aware that there may have been sources of errors. What errors can be? First of all, it's about color change. So the very first error would be about color change. It would be difficult to assess colors because they have yellow, then dark yellow, and then brown or light yellow. So it would be really difficult to differentiate between yellow, dark yellow, and the different colors. So what could be used? Use a reference chart. Okay, indicator sheet or indicator chart. Okay, what can be the second thing? Now it's about crushing as well. Okay, crushing is not done to the same extent, let's say, to the same extent. So how could we correct it? So we need to give error and we have to give the correction as well. So uh, we can use another method for crushing. Okay, no. So when you're saying another one, it's better to mention another method. What do you mean by another method? Okay, we can do crushing by some machine for the same time. Okay, you can right click using some machine for the same time. Okay, the cubes can be cut of same size. Okay, by the way, you didn't get the last one accurately, but the other two are correct. Okay, how would you use universal indicator to determine the pH? Okay, this must you know. You must, wow, what I've said. You must know this. I'm also sleepy. Universal indicator paper. Correct. Dip paper. Paper into the liquid. Okay. Yeah. Compare color to the. Okay. It would be around green, light greenish yellow. Okay. When apple is cut up and crushed and enzymes come into contact with oxygen into the air. In the presence of oxygen, the enzyme catalyzes the reaction of a colorless molecule in the cell. That's why the cell changes their color. It becomes brown in air. So, suggest how this might explain the effect of distilled water and vitamin C. Now, this was another question which students find difficult. Okay. Now, open when they're placed in air. Okay, listen to the question. When they're placed in air, they are open to air. Okay, they are directly in contact with oxygen, which releases the enzyme and turn them brown. But what happen if they are not in contact with air but are immersed in distilled water or vitamin C? Wait, it's about air. It's about air. Now, when there is distilled air, distilled water, there is less air. There would be less oxygen available in water, we can say. Exactly. Oxygen available, so slows down the reaction, the contact with oxygen, and release of enzyme. Okay. No. Like, when it's in open air, it has oxygen, which releases the enzyme. Okay. But when they are in distilled water, there is very less oxygen available, or you can say less dissolved oxygen available. Okay, what about vitamin C? When there is no color change, it means there is no oxygen available at all. Okay, what else can be? It's a vitamin C. Yes, yes. It's an acid, acidic. Good. Denatures the enzyme. Correct. Because distilled water has a 7 pH. It has nothing to do with oxygen. Okay. Okay, yeast is given. Its method is given for making a dough. So we have added yeast, we have given water, and then we have starch. Okay. Another difficult question here. This one. This one question. This one is difficult. The fourth part is tough because students find it difficult to answer. Let's see whether you'll be able or not. Okay, yeast is you. Okay, then they have given it some time so that the dough rises, and they have used different flours. Number one is wheat, number two is rye, number three is buckwheat, and number four is maize, corn. Okay, and they have observed the rise. This one is the rise. Okay, and they have given you these values. What is the value over here? I guess one page is enough. There's no need to. Yes. First of all, give me the value for this one. Okay. Wait. Tell me the value for this one. What is the value at 30 for wheat flour, which is given in the diagram? Yeah, it's 38. Okay. Now let's calculate a total increase, which is the subtraction. Okay. How have they done the subtraction? Good. Good. Final minus initial. Okay. What is the answer? 32 minus 11. 23 minus 21. And 22 minus 22 as well. Then we have to make a bar graph. I've told you some instructions about the graph. Okay, let's write the instructions. You need to tell me what is number one point. Okay, what would be labeling? Tell me the labeling. Look, they have given you something over here. What would be the labeling? Total increase in volume. In volume. Okay, after 45 minutes, and the unit is cubic centimeter. Okay, what would be at x-axis? Really? It's a bar graph. Okay. Okay. Type of, okay, type of flower. Let's say flower. Okay. Oh wow, 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 my spellings. Okay. Third point should be your bars. Okay, let's say bars should be of equal length. Like if you are selecting five boxes, each bar should be of five boxes, right? And try to make separate bars so that there wouldn't be any coinciding point that can deduct your marks. Okay, there should be, bars should not be touching. There should be equal spacing in the bars. They should have equal width. Okay, yes, single bars. Like you can choose five and leave five, then choose five, leave five, choose five, leave five. You can do this. Okay. Okay, what would be scale that you're going to use? It's from 2 till 25. So what would be your scale on this axis? Okay, let's say 5, 10, 15, 20. So the highest value is 25. This is not applicable. We can choose a bigger scale. Let's do it 10, 20, 30 is perfectly fine. Okay. Okay, I didn't get your point. Okay, so 2 can be adjusted over here, right? Like this. It can be. Okay. Have you got how you are getting, how you are going to get 4 marks in graph? Okay. Let's move to the next point. Now you have different floors and okay, they have different amount of the biological molecules. Okay. Okay. This is the question where students didn't get any marks. Okay. Now use your bar chart and information from the process of bread production. Suggest and explain how these biological molecules affect the total increase in volume of dough. Okay, which one is showing the highest increase? The wheat, the 20, 11, 2 and 2. Let's write this. Let's write it here. Okay, so we are saying that this one wheat flour is producing the highest amount of increase in, or shows the highest increase in. Why do you think so? Which biological molecule is highest in the concentration over here? Yeah, it is gluten. Exactly. Where there is only like zero gluten, the rise is really low. So gluten is one of the factor in wheat flour or flour which increases which increases its volume. Okay. First of all, we write about gluten. Okay. What about other ones? Starch or fiber? Okay, they have little effect. Good. They do not increase the volume to that much extent as gluten does. Okay, so we are going to write that gluten has the highest effect, or gluten shows, no, let's write highest, has the highest effect in increasing the volume of bread dough as compared to, wow, I've written blood instead of bread. I guess I'm quite sleepy. Okay, wait, bread dough as compared to fiber or starch, right? Fiber or starch. Now we have explained 2 points. Okay, so why do you think so gluten is going to, yes, because you're comparing a suggest, we have suggested, we have given the suggestion. Now we have to explain why. Oh, okay. So suggest and explain. You have suggested that gluten has done this or fiber and starch has little effect. Now give the explanation. Why do you think so? Gluten has the highest effect. Okay. Uh, Gluten increases the volume, or gluten increases the volume due to. Now, why would the volume increases? Due to production of, exactly, production of carbon dioxide, and bubbles are produced when this carbon dioxide escape, right? Escape. So this would be your answer. That's why it has the highest increase in volume. Traps. No, carbon dioxide going to escape. Bubbles are created when carbon dioxide escape, and these bubbles are basically the increase in the height. This results in increase in height. The bubbles would create increase in height because gluten is doing everything. Okay, gluten is the one. You can say gluten is reacting with yeast as compared to starch or fiber. So when gluten gets activated by yeast, it produces carbon dioxide, which becomes, when escape, increases the, correct. Describe how would you show that each of the four floors contained starch. It's given. Test for iodine. Iodine solution would be added. Okay, and how would you show? Correct. You would use iodine solution. Iodine solution is added to each floor, and the all contain starch. Let's see. Yes, and these turn blue black. Blue black. Okay. The student. Oh, sorry. I guess this is the last question. I hope. Another one? There is another one? Oh, wow. Okay, the student made more dough from wheat flour, yeast, and water that we have already observed. Now they have told you have to use the same method as 2A. You just have to change the temperatures. Now, how you're going to investigate this one, and how what would be your expected results? These, there are two parts. Okay. 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 Divide dough equally between. Explain it. I want to listen how you're going to write.